Let me ask you something. When you walk into a supermarket to buy one thing, just one thing, and you walk out 40 minutes later with a cart full of stuff you didn't plan to buy, was that your choice? When an app pulls you back 5 minutes after you just closed it, was that your idea? When you picked the medium size because the large felt too expensive and the small felt too cheap, did you actually choose that? Or did someone choose it for you? Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most of the choices you make every single day aren't really choices. They're responses. Carefully engineered, psychologically tested, commercially optimized responses. And the people designing them know your brain better than you do. Today, we're pulling the curtain back on exactly how it works. Let's start where almost everyone gets manipulated without knowing it: the grocery store. You think a supermarket is just a building with food in it. It is not. It is one of the most precisely engineered psychological environments ever built, and every single element inside it has been tested, refined, and optimized to make you spend more money than you planned. Start at the entrance. Almost every large supermarket puts the fresh produce section right at the front door. Bright colors, natural light if possible, the smell of fresh food. Why? Because seeing fresh, healthy food at the start of your shop makes you feel virtuous. And when people feel virtuous, research shows they're more likely to reward themselves with less virtuous purchases later. The salad at the door gives your brain permission to buy the cookies in aisle 7. Then there's the store layout. The things you actually need, milk, eggs, bread, are almost always at the back of the store or the far corners. You have to walk through everything else to get to them. That's not an accident. Every step you take past products you didn't come for is another opportunity for something to catch your eye. The shelves themselves are a whole other system. Eye level placement, roughly between your chin and your forehead, is prime retail real estate. Brands pay significant premiums to sit there. The products that earn the most margin for the store, or the brands that paid the most for placement, live at eye level. The cheaper alternatives? They're down near the floor or up near the ceiling, where you have to make an effort to notice them. And then there's the music. Slow-tempo music in supermarkets has been shown in studies to increase the time shoppers spend in the store, and therefore, the amount they spend. Retailers know this. The playlist isn't there for your enjoyment. It's a pacing tool. And let's not forget the smell. Bakeries near the entrance aren't just convenient, they're strategic. The smell of fresh bread and warm pastry triggers hunger and comfort simultaneously. A comfortable, slightly hungry shopper buys more. Some stores even pump artificial scent through ventilation systems near certain sections. You're not just shopping in a store. You're shopping inside a carefully constructed sensory experience designed to lower your defenses. You walked in for milk. You left with milk, a candle, 2 snacks you don't need, and a magazine you'll read 3 pages of. The machine worked exactly as designed. Now let's talk about your phone. Every major app you use, social media, streaming, shopping, news, has a team of engineers, designers, and psychological scientists whose entire job is to keep you on the app as long as possible. Not to make you happy, not to make your life better, to keep you there. And they are extraordinarily good at it. The most powerful tool they use is called variable reward. It's the same psychological mechanism that makes slot machines addictive. You pull the handle, or in this case, you scroll, and sometimes you get something rewarding, a funny post, a like on your photo, a message from someone you care about, and sometimes you get nothing interesting at all. The randomness is the point. If every scroll gave you something great, you'd eventually feel satisfied and stop. If every scroll gave you nothing, you'd give up. But random, unpredictable rewards, those keep you pulling the lever indefinitely. Your brain is wired to chase that next hit of dopamine, and it never quite knows when it's coming. Then there are notifications. Every ping, every red badge, every "someone liked your post" is a tiny manufactured urgency pulling you back in. You weren't thinking about the app, then your phone buzzed. Now you're in it, scrolling, and 3 minutes became 20. Streaming platforms do something slightly different. They use what's called an endowed progress effect, combined with autoplay. The episode ends, and before you can make a conscious decision, the next one has already started. The choice to stop requires active effort. The choice to keep watching requires nothing. They've made continuing easier than stopping, and they've done it deliberately. Shopping apps layer in artificial scarcity. Only 3 left in stock. 12 people are looking at this right now. Sale ends in 2 hours, 14 minutes, and 53 seconds. None of these prompts are asking you to make a calm, rational decision. They're triggering a fear response, the fear of missing out, and getting you to act before your rational brain can pump the brakes. You opened the app to check one thing. You know how this ends. Here's one of the most elegant tricks in all of consumer psychology, and once you see it, you'll never unsee it. Imagine a coffee shop with 2 cup sizes, small for $3, large for $5. Most people find that a reasonable but slightly uncomfortable choice. The large feels like a splurge. Now the coffee shop adds a medium, $4.50. Suddenly, the large at $5 feels like the obvious choice. It's only 50 cents more than the medium, but it's significantly bigger. The medium makes the large look like a bargain, even though nothing about the large changed. The price didn't drop, the size didn't grow. The only thing that changed was the presence of a decoy point designed to make the large look attractive. That's called the decoy effect, and it is everywhere. Movie theater popcorn sizes, software subscription tiers, cable packages, hotel room categories, gym memberships. Everywhere you see 3 options, there's a strong chance the middle option exists primarily to make one of the others look more appealing. The option they want you to pick is almost always the one that makes the most money for them, and the pricing structure around it is built to funnel you there without you realizing it was a funnel. You didn't choose the large popcorn. The menu chose it for you. The words on labels and menus and ads aren't chosen casually. They're the product of testing, psychology, and sometimes decades of consumer research. Natural, artisan, small batch, farm fresh. None of these words have legally enforceable definitions in most markets. They don't mean anything specific, but they trigger associations, wholesomeness, quality, care, that make you feel better about a purchase and more willing to pay a premium for it. Restaurants use menu engineering to push you towards high-margin items. Expensive dishes are often placed in the top right corner of a menu, where eyes tend to go first, or given visual callouts like boxes or icons. The price is sometimes written without a currency symbol, because research shows seeing $14.99 activates a different, more price-conscious part of your brain than seeing simply $14.99. And when menus describe food, the language is carefully chosen. Slow roasted sounds better than cooked for a long time. Crispy sounds better than fried. Handcrafted sounds better than made. The food is identical. The words change your perception of its value. Online, the same principle applies. Dark patterns, design choices that are deliberately confusing or misleading, are used to trick you into subscribing to things you didn't mean to subscribe to, opting into data sharing you didn't want, or clicking the wrong button because the "no thanks" option is written in light gray text on a white background. Every word in these environments has been chosen with intent. The question is whether that intent aligns with yours. Here's something that happens to you constantly and you almost never notice it. Before you can evaluate whether a price is good or bad, your brain needs a reference point. It needs something to measure against, and whoever presents the first number to you controls that reference point entirely. That's called anchoring, and it is one of the most powerful and most quietly used tools in sales and marketing. Walk into a furniture store. The first couch you see is $4,000. It's beautiful, but it's not what you came for. You keep walking, you find a couch you actually like. It's $1,800. And you think, that's a great deal. Is it? Maybe, maybe not. But your brain isn't evaluating $1,800 in isolation. It's evaluating $1,800 relative to $4,000. The expensive couch at the entrance wasn't there for customers who want expensive couches. It was there to set the anchor, to make everything else in the store feel reasonable by comparison. Car dealerships do this masterfully. The salesperson starts by showing you the fully loaded model, heated seats, panoramic sunroof, premium sound system, the works. Then, once you've sat in it and imagined owning it, they walk you back to the base model you actually budgeted for. Every upgrade from there feels small. It's only $800 more for the advanced safety package. Relative to the $45,000 car you just test drove, $800 feels like nothing. Department stores do it with original prices. That jacket was $220, now $89. Was it really $220? Sometimes. Sometimes the original price exists primarily to make the sale price feel dramatic. Retail pricing strategy often works backwards. Set a high anchor, apply a discount, and let the customer feel like they won. Even salary negotiations
use this. Research consistently shows that whoever states the first number in a negotiation has a significant advantage. You can't opt out of psychology. Your brain is always going to respond to these triggers. That's what a trigger is. But awareness is a genuine defense. Not a perfect one, but a real one. When you walk into a store with a list, you're not just organized, you're protected. The list removes the in-store decision-making that the environment is designed to exploit. You're not browsing, you're executing. When you recognize the decoy in a pricing structure, you can ask the question the structure is designed to stop you from asking. Do I actually need the large? Does the upgrade serve me or does it serve the margin? When you feel urgency, only 3 left, offer expires soon, that's the moment to pause, not to act. Real scarcity doesn't need a countdown timer. When you see an anchor, a high price, a crossed-out original, a premium option shown first, ask yourself, what would I think this was worth if I'd never seen that number? Start from 0. Build your own reference point instead of borrowing theirs. And when you find yourself 30 minutes into an app you opened for 30 seconds, that's worth paying attention to. Not with guilt, with curiosity. What pulled you back in? What's the hook? The more clearly you can see the mechanism, the less automatic your response to it becomes. None of this makes you immune, but it makes you slower to react and faster to notice. And in a world that profits from your impulsiveness, a small pause is a surprisingly powerful thing. You are making choices every single day, real ones and fake ones dressed up as real ones. The supermarket, the app, the menu, the pricing page, the anchor, the decoy, they all speak the same language. A language designed to route you toward a specific outcome while making you feel like you got there yourself. Now you speak it too, and that changes everything. Subscribe. See you in the next one.